A pleasant day to everyone. I am Donalyn C. Madeja from 1BSE A2 and I will be discussing about the Romanian language. So first, let us go to the background and history of Romanian language. Romanian language is an Eastern Romance language spoken approximately 22 to 26 million people as a native language, primarily in Romania, second language. Few know that Romanian is a Romance language similar to French, Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese, evolved from several dialects of Vulgar Latin, which separated from the Western Romance languages in the course of the period from the 5th to the 8th centuries. While Romanian does have Slavic roots, those roots only make up about 10% of the total vocabulary. The language is actually a culmination of Turkish, German, and Bulgarian. This makes it the most unique Romance language. The Romanian language structure, process, and alphabets. So the Romanian alphabet is a 31-letter alphabet of the modern Romanian language, which consists of 20 consonants. The letters are letters B, C, F, G, H, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, and S with a cedilla symbol, T, and T with a cedilla symbol, V, W, X, Y, and Z, which consist also of four semi-vowels, which are the letters E, I, O, and U. It also consists of seven vowels, which are the letters A, E, I, O, U, and A with a breve symbol, and I with a circumflex symbol. It consists of the 26 letters of the Latin alphabet plus 5 special characters obtained by applying diacritics. The letters K, Q, W, and Y aren't used in normal Romanian writing. The normal word order in Romanian sentences is subject, verb, object, although variations are possible. And now, let's move on to some letters and their pronunciations and their transcription in English word. The letter A, pronounced as A in father. The letter E, pronounced as E in bet. The letter I, pronounced as E as in beat. The letter O, pronounced as O in pole. The letter U, pronounced as U in pool. And the letter A with a breve symbol, pronounced as A in but. And the letter I and A with a circumflex symbol, pronounced as U in brew and stew. The letter T with a cedilla symbol, pronounced as ts as in Pittsburgh. The letter S with a cedilla symbol, pronounced as sh in shower, and C pronounced as ch before an I or E, as in beach or peach, and the letter CH pronounced as k in bike, and the letter G pronounced as j before an I or E, as in juice or jive, and the letter GH pronounced as g in bag. And next, we're going to tackle about the vowel alphabets pronunciation and transcription in Romanian language. The letter A, transcribed in Romanian language as apa, apa, which means water. The letter E, transcribed in Romanian language as elephant, elephant, which means elephant. The letter I, transcribed in Romanian language as ed, ed, which means idea. And the letter O, transcribed in Romanian language as orar, orar, which means schedule. And the letter U, as in umbrella, umbrella, which means umbrella. And the letter A with a breve symbol, which transcribes in Romanian language as soneta, soneta, which means sonnet. And the letter I with a circumflex symbol, transcribed in Romanian language as un, which means in English in. Next is the consonants of Romanian language and their pronunciation. The letter B as in be, the letter C as in che, the letter D as in d, and the letter F as in if, and the letter G as in j, the letter H as in hush, and the letter J as in j, and the letter L as in il, L, and the letter M as in im, N, which is in, N, and the letter P as in pe, and the letter Q as in Q, the letter R as in R, and the letter S as in is, the letter S with a cedilla symbol as in sh, and the letter T as in t, the letter T with a cedilla symbol as in ch, che, and the letter V as in ve, the letter W, 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 the letter X as in X, Y as in Y, and the letter Z as in Z. And now, let us proceed to the Romanian vowel chart and their articulation. The letter A is a mid-central vowel. The letter A, as in A, open front and rounded vowel. The letter E, close mid, front and rounded vowel. The letter E, as in non-syllabic, close mid, front and rounded vowel. And the letter E, close front and rounded vowel. O is a close mid, back, rounded vowel. And the U, close back and rounded vowel. And the U, close central and rounded vowel. Next is the Romanian consonants and their articulation. The voiced bilabial plosive B, the voiceless bilabial plosive P, and the voiced bilabial nasal M, voiceless labiodental fricatives F, and the voiced labiodental fricatives V, and the voiced alveolar nasal N, voiceless alveolar plosive T, voiced alveolar plosive D, voiceless alveolar affricates voiceless alveolar fricatives S, Voiced alveolar fricatives z, voiced alveolar trill r, 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 voiced alveolar lateral l, voiceless post-alveolar affricate ch, ch, voiced post-alveolar affricate j, voiceless post-alveolar fricative sh, as in mission, voiced post-alveolar fricative z, z, voiceless velar plosive k, voiced velar plosive g, and voiceless glottal fricative, as in the letter H. Romanian has a stressed accent, like almost all other Romance languages, with the notable exception of French. Generally, stress falls on the last syllable of a stem, that is, the root and the derivational material, but excluding inflections and final inflectional vowels. The first type of stress is the oxytone words, which the stress falls on the last syllable. Example, aviatur, export. The next type of stress is the paroxytone words, which the stress falls on the second to the last syllable. Example, credit, academy. The next type of stress is the proparoxytone words, which the stress is on the third to the last syllable. Example, anchor, diploma. And the next one is the paroxytone words, which the accent is on the fourth to last syllable. These words are not so common, and they're usually polysyllabic feminine nouns that are rarely used in daily vocabulary, and many of them are archaic words. Example, lapovita, meaning sleet, or bivolita, meaning buffalo cow. In Romanian, we also have words where moving the stress from one syllable to another is allowed. For example, manager, manager, antic. Stress sometimes play a role in semantic or grammatical differentiations. So the stress might be the only difference between two words or grammatical forms that are written identically. For example, vesela, meaning happy, vesela, meaning plates, el cunta, which is the indicative present and means he is singing, el cunta, which is the indicative simple perfect and means he has sung. Romanian has a vowel alternation or apophony triggered by stress. A stressed syllable has a low vowel or a diphthong ending in a low vowel, and an unstressed syllable has a mid vowel. The most common vowel alternations are the A turns into A, or the A turns into A. For example, the word in Romanian language as sar and sari, which means I jump, you jump. The A turns into E. For example, the word transcribed in Romanian language is vad and vezi, which means I see, you see. The O turns into oa, turns into u. For example, pot, puate, putem, which means I can, he can, we can. The E turns into E. For example, vin and venim, which means I come, we come. While the most common consonant alternations are D turns into Z, for example, vad, vad, vezi, which means I see, you see. Cred, crezi, which means I believe, you believe. The S turns into sh, for example, konosk, konoshte, konoshte, which means I know, you know. The T turns into ch, ch, for example, tremit, tremitche, tremitche, which means I send, you send. All the consonants alternations occur in the second person singular. For example, vad, vezi, which means I see, you see. Present ending as produces a consonant alternation. And now, let us proceed to the Romanian lexical categories. First, let us tackle the noun of the Romanian language. On the basis of their grammatical structure, Romanian nouns are divided into three classes, traditionally called genders, which are the masculine, feminine, and neuter. The form of the indefinite article that accompanies a noun and the ending of the noun indicates the gender to which the noun belongs. First is the masculine nouns. Masculine nouns take a consonant plus u, e, or e endings, and the plural is marked by a final e, or the letter I. The indefinite articles for masculine nouns are un for singular and neshti for plural. Example: pantalon, pantaloni, pantof, pantofi. Since neshte is also the plural form for feminine and neuters, the way Romanians clearly identify the gender of nouns is by replacing a cardinal numeral in front of the noun. The Romanian cardinal numerals 1 or uno and 2, doi, duo, agree in gender and number with the noun that follows. The definite articles are all inflected. Feminine nouns ends in a, e, and a. Plurals are marked by the le, e, or e. The indefinite articles for feminine nouns are o for singular and nește for plural. For example, the a changes to e. Singular form are o studenta and the plural is dua student. O casa and the plural is dua case. The next is neuter. So neuter is a combination of other two genders. More specifically, in Romanian, neuter nouns behave in the singular as masculine nouns and in the plural as feminine nouns. As such, all noun determiners and all pronouns only have two possible gender-specific forms instead of three. Romanian verbs are highly inflected in comparison to English, but markedly simple in comparison to Latin, from which Romanian has inherited its verbal conjugation system. Unlike its nouns, Romanian verbs behave in a similar way to those of other Romance languages such as French, Spanish, and Italian. Romanian adverbs are generally not inflected. Some follow the same degree of comparison rules as adjectives. Others could take the form of diminutives because of emotional involvement in conversation. Some adverbs in Romanian are simple, others are compound. For example, când, când, which means when, unde, which means where, cum, which means how, acasă, which means at home, aseară, which means last night, atunse, atunce, which means then, ire, which means yesterday, and main, which means tomorrow, and Duminica, which means every Sunday. Next is the Romanian adjectives. Romanian adjectives are much different from adjectives in English. Adjectives agree with nouns in gender, number, and case. Unlike in English, the typical place for an adjective in a sentence is after the noun, not in front of it. Whenever an adjective precedes a noun, the intention is purely emphatic. Adjectives may have one or two main endings, the latter being more frequent. Adjectives normally follow the nouns they modify. Example, student, bun, a good student. Adjectives with two endings, bun, which is the masculine noun, and buna, which is the feminine noun. Buni, which is the masculine noun, and bune, which is the feminine noun. Vece, vece, and veci, veci is the masculine and feminine noun. Old, which means old, for inanimate objects only. And batruna, batruna, batrani, and batruni, which means old, for animate objects only. And lastly, let us discuss about the preposition of Romanian language. Learning the Romanian prepositions displayed below is vital to the language. Romanian prepositions link nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. The word or phrase that the preposition introduces is called the object of the preposition. For example, the English prepositions. Inside the house. In Romanian prepositions, which means un interiorul casei. And the English prepositions with me, transcribed in Romanian prepositions as cumen, cumen. Without him, transcript in Romanian prepositions as fara el, fara el. And that's all for my report about the Romanian language. Have a great day.